buenos dias, buenos tardes, y buenos noches, and todo el mundo, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all around the world, and thank you for joining us today for another Left 4 Dead 2 competitive shoutcast. My name is MK, I'll be your caster and cameraman for today, and today we have the really big Tournament 8. It is about to begin. Every so often, the world's greatest get-together, and that time is upon us. And I will be accompanied by the one and only Naina. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, buddy. Thank you for having me on. We are gonna be getting started with RBT8 in a very short time. It's really snuck up on us here. Tons of money, gonna be tons of teams. And today we get to do not necessarily the most glamorous part, but somebody's got to do it. We're going to be going over the rules, etc.
Yeah, not only that, but we're going to go over a couple of things that we're going to have that's going to change in the future of Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
The era of L4D gamers starts with RBT8, and I want to first do a shout out from the beginning before we even get this going. A shout out to Rails Barlow for allowing this to happen, and then also a shout out to Alpha and all of the donators for the really big Tournament 8 for making history possible. Woo! Without you guys, none of this is here. So, before we start talking, I think there's a certain link we should put in the chat here, Nino. What do you say?
Okay. I like links.
My name is MK with L4D Gamers, and welcome to the really big Tournament 8. Discord is now open. You can feel free to jump in, and we are going to start talking about the rules. We're going to go into stuff right away. There's a lot of things we're going to go over, so without hesitation, we're going to start jumping right into it. Actually, I'll probably give a minute or two here before we go in. Nine-Naw will let the Spanish streamers do a little bit of their intro too before we get out here. So before we do start anything, it'll be Nine-Naw and myself today. There is a chance the Noodle could jump in, but I think he might be a little bit preoccupied for today, so maybe you'll catch us at another time. But other than that, like I said, we're going to go over the rules. There's a few things that we want to go over in detail, just so everybody's on the same level. We're going to have it in English and in Spanish, Nine-Naw, just so we don't have any misconceptions when we going forward, because we want everybody to be on a clean playing field that's fair and balanced. And we're open to questions. If anybody has any questions as we go along, feel free to ask them. We'll probably spend about, maybe anywhere from 20 minutes to about an hour discussing this. So thank you as well for the sub, my friend. So shout out to the giving me the sub in chat. Jules, I appreciate you. All right, now, what do you think? I think we should bring it up here and get this thing on. What do you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're already getting 2 subs here. Smokey76 as well. Hell yeah. Glad you all are excited. Guess we might as well hop into it. Got some changes to the rule book from RBT7, so might as well get into that.
Yeah, and of course, we're going to be posting these rules later on this weekend. We want to make sure that we have all of our T's crossed and our I's dotted, some grammar, because I'm not the best on that, of course. So we just want to make sure everything is definitely looking good. So we're going to go over a little bit of history before we go into it. The index or the glossary here at the beginning will let you know everywhere you need to go on your own time. We're just going to go straight through. Probably the later sections we'll skim over some of those things really don't matter in that much detail, but basically we'll start here. Of course, as everybody knows, RBT wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Rails Barlow back in 2014. He was accompanied by Jacob at the moment, who was in charge of the ProMod config. He was kind of like the foreman of the whole thing, so he had a bunch of people that he would put out to kind of make what was in his mind process for ProMod. And believe it or not, I was friends with him back then, and I never knew it until now, when he was asking us questions when we scrimmed, because I played with him in RBT1. Jacob was on my team. That he was asking us opinions, and some of those opinions actually came out to be in ProMod, which is kind of crazy now.
Cool. Part of the beta testers.
Yeah, I never even realized it till later, though. No, he never said a word. So that was a little bit of history for those. I will be the tournament director for the really big Tournament 8, and also an English caster as well, / referee. So as you see how this pyramid goes upwards, Every person that is above on the pyramid is also whatever represents below automatically, obviously. So that means Nine Nog, Gun Noodle, and Lexi could also be referees if they, when they're in game as well. All the ones underneath there are referees and casters as well. Pampinas is going to be my assistant tournament director, which means if I am not around, he is active tournament director. So he can make the calls as see fit when I am not here. So if anybody has any questions or tickets that are made, they'll be mainly answered by Pampinas and myself. Of course, there'll be some other, like, of course, Nina and Noodle can answer some minor questions in the tickets. But please do most of your main questions to us. We will give you all your answers and submit requests, which we will go over later in detail. So that is your administrative team here for RBT 8, and of course our anti-cheat, which we'll talk about a little later, is going to be ran by Nate. Sorry, Nate, I didn't have you scroll all the way down in there from the beginning of this. I missed him 9 a little bit, but we got to throw him in there real quick. I didn't have it scrolled down.
Of course, yeah, important to have him in there.
All right, kind of self-explanatory for when we go here, disputes. Just tickets will be made for everything. It just lets you know here that the final decisions will be made by the administrative team, and they can't be appealed when they are done so. So that's pretty standard with tournaments going forward. And sanctions, the tournament director reserves the right to impose any sanctions of any competitor or individual in their sole discretion as circumstances may warrant. This is going to come to detail a little bit later when we go over a thing that we're going to introduce. So this is here so everybody understands that it is important that they know that a tournament director, which myself and Pampinas, can make a call which might be outside of what's actually written in here for fairness and balance for what we're going to talk to a little bit later. So I'll let you rotate a little bit here if you want to know, so I don't hog all the fun with each one of these sections.
Absolutely. So we got sanctions. They have the right, tournament directors reserve the right to impose sanctions on any competitor at their sole discretion as circumstances may warrant. Basically just saying that tournament directors have the power to do what's necessary to protect the sanctity of the tournament, to ensure that players aren't, excessively toxic, that sort of thing, so on and so forth.
Yes, and also staff may participate in the tournament. We're going to have some staff members that will participate. I myself am not. Again, this is an honor of my life talking to Hokori, because we talked about me playing with them in the Really Big Tournament 8, and I felt since I was the sole receiver of donations, I am not going to participate in this. Any other staff member may. I just feel it's better that I did not, due to the circumstances. This is here for people, not for me. So I am going to be sitting this one out and mainly focus on bringing everybody the action from my POV, and of course overseeing the tournament going forward. So that'll be my part there.
I know me and Gun Noodle won't be playing. I personally really wanted to run it back with X's and O's in Division 2, but we're going to have more matches to cover than ever before with any tournament before this, so it's best to handle that. I'm sure a lot of people will feel the same way, but I'm curious to see maybe ABP, a Blue Pigeon. I know he's been playing on teams, has been a captain for team. We'll see if he hops in.
I look forward to seeing him there. Always a big fan of a fellow tournament director as myself, so I could actually say that now. But of course, all communication will go through the Discord server and language requirements. Of course, this is an international tournament, so all languages are pretty much used internationally, depending on where you come from. We're going to focus on 3 main ones, but English is not required. So don't anybody think that you just have to sit with one language or you can't play. No, whatever language you want to use is okay. The administrative team will use translation accordingly to communicate with you. Again, if you have any questions, just please go make a ticket and we'll go through that way. No direct messages to the administrative team. They are just going to tell you to make a ticket. So just don't waste your time, or they're going to direct you to a tournament director. So please save yourself some time and go that way.
Yeah, even if you don't speak one of the main languages like English, Spanish, and Chinese, you can probably still use translation software to get you hooked up. I'm definitely willing to make the extra effort, so don't let that deter you from joining the tournament. Although, if you're watching this, you probably have a good amount of English anyways. we do move on to the tournament format. So this is an international tournament consisting of 2 sections, a Swiss system tournament, of course, and then we go to the knockout playoffs with a double elimination bracket. One really interesting part of this system, though, is that there is a step ladder bracket for 8th to 4th place, and maybe you can talk on that a little bit more.
Yes, there was discussion about this, and some people were fans about it, some were not. So basically, what this is going to do is we're going to kind of go through a different kind of way of sport does their finals here, and that's only going to be through 8th and 4th place. The rest of the tournament will go accordingly. 8th and 4th place gets eliminated from the brackets. They will have a separate step ladder where 6th place 7th and 6th and 7th place 6th and 6th place 5th and 5th place 4th, and ends there, which would give the team that gets eliminated, at the top 8, an opportunity to work up to a couple more $100 in the prize fund. We all like this idea, and I believe it's good and all. What's your opinion on it?
It's amazing. I mean, normally when you're knocked out in 8th, your journey ends there, but this adds. It's like, you're not gonna get in the big money, but you can still fight for what you can get there. It's a really cool concept. Having a team rather, fighting from 8th place, trying to make it all the way up to 4th. It's great for storylines. It's great for hype. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, so the language is here, pretty much how it's going to work out. But what we did discuss is that if you make it in the top 3, you should be rewarded with those prize funds, and those prize funds for 3rd to 4th is significantly different. It's a massive amount. So, and the total is not determined yet, because we can still get donations up until the 1st of June. We will shut down the GoFundMe on the 1st of June, and that will be the final tally. We also do have the possibility of sponsorships. We will announce that if it does come into play. Right now it's up in the air, but we have had communication. So at least we have our foot in the door, and we have that cog rolling. So we'll keep the community informed of that, but we'll take that step by step. But now let's go to the Swiss format and how the games will be played. It'll be 1 game neutral for all. Fake lag will be used to balance the ping unless teams would like to use Clumsy, which we will have a link basically of how to use that program. We're probably going to make a video for that. We were discussing that as well, so that's in there. And actually, this is going to be discussed at a later section as well, because it's not actually here. So there's no home and away at all, but we're going to use part of the home and away concept later, but we're not going to talk about that right now. In a minute we will. Now, playoff matches are going to be the total of 2 campaigns, all of them except for the grand finals and the winner bracket finals. Those 2 games will be the only 2 that go best of 3. Every other one is the total of 2. Since the really big tournament in the past was set on home and away, there is no problem with playing the total of 2. It's just a regular game. That's what we discussed. There is no reason you can't do that, since home and away was play in the back. So you're going to have a total of 8 to 10 chapters to play. You are required to play finales no matter what is played. Of course, the losing team can decide if they want to give up and say GG as always, but on paper you are required to play the finale, just so that goes out before going forward. So and I think I'm jumping the gun here, but we'll get to that later too.
While we're there on the topic, so make sure you're not agreeing to a no finale match in your match chat before it starts, because that is not permissible. It is going to be up to the losing team to decide it in the moment, and it doesn't matter what you say in the match chat. We'll get into that more, of course. I know that that's written explicitly in the rules, but something to keep in mind.
Yep, and then of course this is pretty self-explanatory, I think, here and all, but the config of use will be the most current version of zone mod at this moment. All the selected servers, which we'll have later will have the current version of zone mods on it, so don't worry about that. That should be taken care of. And the tournament will have 2 divisions. The Division 1 will be the top tier division, and where the prize pool will reside. So if you want to have a shot at the prize pool to play, you have to play the best of the best to earn it. So this is where you have to go for that. Also, there is the Division 2 middle tier to newer tier. Now, Division 2 is a little bit different. You may sign up for it, but you don't automatically get in Division 2 because it's based off skill level. If your team is too dominant, you cannot go into this bracket. There's also no cash prize for Division 2, but we could talk about something maybe a little later that we've discussed for that division. But right now, no cash prize. You must go to Division 1 for cash prize now. That's just how it is.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, and that's something really important to mention is that, yeah, I mean, Division 2 really is just for the glory, but there's no point trying to smurf into Division 2 because there's no money to be fought for. That was a very intentional decision to have the prize pool for Division 2 be $0. It is just for the amateur scene wanting to compete. Now, as for the Swiss section, pretty straightforward. Each division plays until there is one undefeated team left. And then at that point, you go on to the playoffs. At the beginning of Swiss, though, we will have random pairings for each team. We discussed different concepts with that, but ultimately came up on just random seedings. And then from there on, you're going to be paired each round with a player, or rather with a team who has the same win-loss record as you. So it will be randomly selected, but only amongst teams that have the same win-loss.
Yes, there may be some times where you actually get a one record. They might have one win or one loss off of you. There's never a guarantee it'll be dead even. Sometimes when you get to the even bar, that could be slightly skewed because there's an even or an odd number of teams now, so that could be a little bit off sometimes. But that's just the way the program is designed to do exactly what you said. But I just wanted to throw that in there real quick because if you have an odd number of teams, that's just not possible sometimes.
Exactly.
To happen. But all right, and of course, double jeopardy. Under no circumstances will two competitors face each other more than once. This has pretty much been a staple for I don't know how many years it has been going. So that being said, before we do go forward anymore, we are going to be blessed to have someone join us. It is the creator of the really big tournament, Rails Barlow. How you doing, my friend?
Let's go.
I'm doing excellently. How are you tonight, gentlemen?
We are doing awesome, my friend. It is the beginning of a new era. And I'm telling you, brother, it is not only a new era, but we're going to start with the really big tournament having the title of the highest cash prize in history, Rails. And I am so freaking hyped. And we got more. We're at $11,111, all 5 ones.
Yeah, I mean, this is something where, and honestly, for the entire community to hear this is the most important thing, because for being in this arena and being in this scene for as long as I have been, I'm talking back, like, I started playing Left 4 Dead 2 back in 2011, right? Like, it was a time in my life that was super dark, and it was just like I needed an escape from things, and the way that I was a celebrity, like, admirer of this community, right? I'm talking, like, names like Maidu from the Rooter Pixies, like, the entire Frag Plane tournament. Like, we're talking, like, the origins of competitive Left 4 Dead 2, right, as a game. I was talking to MK about this the other day. I might have mentioned you about it too, but, like, there were times that I was sitting there being like, dang, because I can't play sports physically, if I can do good in this is something that really motivates me and hypes me up in a way that nothing else could. And now here we are in 2026, and you're telling me there's an $11,000 fucking Left 4 Dead 2 tournament that's going on in North America? Like, this is insanity in the best way, and honestly, there are so many shout-outs over the history of this community that are needed, but MK, you deserve so much credit for keeping this thing alive, and that's honestly one of the only reasons why we're sitting here, so that's what I have to say to kick that off.
Well, bro, you got to be careful when you say these things when I'm live, bro. You can't put me on the spot like this because you know how much of a big softy I am.
No, but this is the thing. And I think the thing that people have been looking for is like, okay, so where's the energy from 2014, 2015? It's like, yo, this is the kind of energy that you were talking about, because that's the time back in the day that we were actually on the front page of Twitch as well when it comes down to it. We had 1,300 people who watched simultaneously, right, the first RBT Grand Finals. Like, that game between Envy and Apollyon, it was Redux and I who casted it. Like, those are the levels that we're trying to hit, and the fact that we actually have a chance to do it in 2026, like, what, literally 17 years after this game's release, like, this is what people have played for. So the fact that Science are actually going live now and that this kind of thing is happening is just totally amazing, but this is the kind of hype that needs to be brought for this tourney. I'm not biased at all,
No, but All I gotta say is, from a response to that, is as a fan of Left 4 Dead 2, of my job and past of when I had my issues back then, and getting away from depression and watching Left 4 Dead 2 when you can't really watch it, so you just listen to the game and be able to hear Kiss Me and Rails Barlow cast. You don't need to see it to be able to be there to see everything that unfolds, and that was drives my passion. And with you creating the Really Big Tournament from its beginning, and was my favorite tournament ever, I felt it was only right that it has the record for the highest prize pool as possible, and the community answered. So I thank everybody else for making that possible. It helped making a dream of mine come true, of one of my favorite casters, of letting something he created be number one for 12 years later. Is a complete honor for me.
No, I mean, this is the kind of thing, and no, I really want to hear your opinion on this as well. And I'm not trying to turn this into like an impromptu podcast.
No.
You have 3 different generations of Left 4 Dead 2 actually sitting here, I guess. Yeah. And this is so weird because, and to give you guys an idea of how much of an old head I am, Chad, it's one of these things where it's like, okay, like Zen Digital was the person that ran the Stick Up Kids Mumble back in the day, and like that. If anybody in chat actually knows what that means, please comment it, because that would be one of the things I'd actually love to see. But we have myself, who started playing comp in 2012. MK, when did you start?
2009. We've had our first game battles match on the 20th of November, 3 days after release.
Oh, you did the game battles back in the day?
Yep, we are Season 3 champions. We won 109-9, and we won it. That was one of my previous champions. I won 3 titles on Xbox, and then got carried because of a quarry for 1.
Okay, yeah. No, the same way that Fear Factory essentially carried me, but in a little bit of a different way, because God knows what a tournament was in 2024. But the reason that I mentioned that, right, is because you did the game battles thing. Then technically you were first generation, I was second generation, and now we have 9 null as well. No, I mean, I really do just want to cue you in here. Like, what do you think about all of this and the fact that people can actually play this game from across the planet for $11? What is that?
I actually talked about this on Gun Noodle's talk show, that he had. I'm really excited to have more with him. He's in the chat right now. But in my opinion, like right now we're in the era of region locked gaming, which is basically no matter what modern game you play, you're never going to get to play against Europeans, you're never going to get to play against Chinese players, etc., etc. And I feel like getting to play an international game with players from Peru, China, Russia, we got players from the Middle East randomly. I mean, we got players from North Africa I've heard of. I mean, it is crazy. It's a lost art. This doesn't really exist anymore. And I said this on Gun Noodle stream. I'll say it here too. I feel like, the path to world peace is through gaming together and having an amazing time. And with that mindset, I really can't fully express how special it is to still have a game that does that here with Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, I mean, and I love the fact that you said that, because there are 2 main reasons, honestly, why I got into this game when I did. Well, okay, maybe 3, but in addition to what I said earlier, it was like, okay, you could be any, like, as long as you're actually playing the game, you know what I mean, right? It's like, okay, it's kind of like very, very different from a sport like soccer, for example, with the World Cup coming up, where it's like, okay, if you have a 12-year-old who plays against like a 45-year-old or something like that, like that's going to be a mismatch. But in this game, so long as you could actually play the game, right? Like if you could M2 a hunter or M2 a jockey or shoot something better than someone else in this game, that's all that mattered, so long as you acted like. And so I really appreciate the fact that I personally was around, like, and I'm talking even my pub days and that kind of stuff, like people and gamers who were very, very understanding of that kind of progression. That's one of the reasons I got into it. The other reason I did was because of the fact that you could actually interact with people from across the planet. And obviously be smart when you're using the internet, make sure your kids use the internet well. Disclaimer, right? Okay, we need some other people to be intelligent. We can't fix everything when it comes down to it, but like, I had the chance to talk to people like December, like aka Deck. Anybody here know who Deck is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, okay, here's my chance in a very small and very isolated community in reality, right? I had the chance to do what I did on a day-to-day basis, which was a clusterfuck of its own, let me tell you, right? And then I was able to log online, and I was able to be like, you know what? It's time to scrim Dark Carnival with my team. And that is the kind of thing when this game was super, super just unique, right? Like that's really, really, really something that established it back in the day that's carried forward to now, because a lot of games have died. It's like, how many do we want to mention? Like Evolve, let's see. And unfortunately, I'm not going to name a couple of them because, I mean, some of the people involved, were involved in making, different games when it comes down to it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, interacting with Deck, talking to Envy, and as you said too, just players from across the world. One name that I know we absolutely have to shout out, and I don't know if you guys did already, is Sir Please.
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
people like Sir, you know what I mean, who was a dedicated server host for, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 years, something like that. And I'm sure he'll correct me if he's somehow in chat.
I think 13 is, I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, these are some of the people who you really, really have to understand. Jay or Shade comes to mind as well. Have to shout out him. And I don't know, like
Canada Rocks.
Canada Rocks. Okay, Icy Inferno. Okay, Prodigy Sim. Like this is gonna turn into a thing, MK. If you don't stop me.
You gotta go to the first one who started it all, who doesn't want any interaction, but he has to be noted as Downtown. Downtown has to be noted. If it wasn't for him, the config thing would have even begun. So he is the one who paved the way, but he chooses to stay in the background and doesn't want any interaction whatsoever. I'm just lucky he accepted my friend request, but he has never said one word to me since he accepted it. But he literally paved the way for he was just the beginning, you know what I mean, to where it came from, to where, like you said, all the generations rails. I was the first one. I played with power weapons. I had no choice. You know what I mean? We had to make agreements in the game. And then again, when you came here, you had the config built to where it was where you were at, and now it evolved to almost perfection. Well, I'd say almost perfect balance and
here we go.
Or balance where it's at now.
So to give everybody watching, and also, like I said, I don't feel like I'm like the historian of Left 4 Dead 2, but somewhere a World of Noise, I'm sure, is laughing her ass off in Canada at this whole thing.
Shout out Juan.
Shout out to Juan, right? She was
an Xbox first player, by the way. I played her on Game Battles.
No, see, that's awesome. That's one of the things that I didn't know. You know what I mean? But
Team PMS. Sorry, I just had to say that was their team name. They were Team PMS.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no lie, bro. She was on Team PMS. It was all girl team. Claire Bear was one of them. She was one of them.
Yeah.
I remember them. Claire Bear's still my friend to this day.
Oh man, dude. Now that you're talking about all these old names, that my brain is trying to just like think of even how to put this into words. I mean, it's about the evolution of the community and the people who have actually put the work into it, right? And mentioning World of Noise that I did. The Left to Learn administrators, right? Like everybody going all the way back to Alienware, and doing that kind of stuff. It's like the fact that there were people who went to like, what was it? Was it GTX was the name of the one meetup?
Yeah, they got the tickets. Yep. You remember that tournament?
Yeah, like Dawkins and like other people. I remember I was lucky enough to meet like Dawkins and Alexi 21 early on when it came down to that kind of stuff, as the game continued to just stay alive and beat those kind of expectations. But the thing you mentioned about the config, right, when it was like, okay, pro mod or EQ, have we talked about Jacob 404 yet on this cast?
Not yet, because we didn't get down to the part. There's a little bit a lower section where we're going to discuss about Jacob. That's why.
Yeah. And I'm not looking to take up all the time either. The reason I wanted to mention him, though, is just as a personal shout out. Again, you talk about people who were community leaders and people who were doing things, in a great way. Because obviously there's been, some problematic shit. But the thing about Jacob is that he was somebody who was always so gifted when it came to being to understand how the game functioned from a player perspective. There was a time there where I was like, oh, maybe I can do something in terms of like game writing or like some other kind of stuff like that, or some kind of game development shit. And I didn't have the same kind of like grind in terms of the technical aptitude as someone like him or someone like NF or someone like yourself, MK, with the map making. That kind of thing is such a special talent, and it's an artistry all of its own.
Yeah.
And those are the people who have made this community actually able to function, and they're also the people who are on the same team that I am. I'm more there in a tangential way when it comes to the community update team, but those are the people who were able to put together a campaign, that was worthy of being published by somewhere like Valve, and I think that that's something that speaks for itself, really.
And it's funny you say that, because might as well keep pushing this forward, because Jacob was allowed for me to say this, because we communicate regularly. But actually, before I say that, we did say that Jacob was the foreman of ProMod. He had a lot of people doing projects for him. We did talk about that, and that he was your co-creator for the tournament at the beginning. And actually, a little history before I start going into this is I actually played with him on Really Big Tournament 1. He was on my team, and he asked us questions, Rails, about the config, and he did a lot of the things that we suggested and never realized it at all. He just randomly did it. So I never realized that in all the time. And then also The Really Big Pro Mod Tournament was the original name of the Really Big Tournament, but when RBT4 came along, that's when it pretty much went to just the Really Big Tournament. But the Really Big Tournament 5 is when it became a sensation, is when it really popped up.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that as a brand, right, like, it's had some longevity, and I think the reason is just, and by the way, the whole Rails Barlow RBT thing, like, that, don't look for connections that aren't there. It's one of those things where it really just is the really big tournament when it comes down to it, right? Like, Jacob and I had
I've never seen that. No way, I've never seen that. The Rails Barlow tournament, bro.
I'm not trying to start a conspiracy. What I will say is, when we came up with the idea, right, and this is why, like I said, and I don't mean to sound too much like Dragon or Battle here, my two heroes who would, cast and smoke until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Cigarettes, of course, when it comes down to it. And Dragon, I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but he's always been a lovely human being. That was a time, right, where it was like, okay, the competitive scene, I want to say it was the Equilibrium Cup that was going on back in like 2012 or something like that, right? But it was like, okay, as a player who was looking to get into it, when you had to Google the names of Left 4 Dead 2 competitive teams to try to get a game because there was no CETA-PUG, there was none of that kind of stuff, it was like, okay, this tournament was only possible due to 2 other tourneys. The first one was the WatchLeft4Dead.com tournament, which really brought life back into the game, and I'm mentioning this for a reason, MK. Basically, not to also drop like a North American based surprise on everybody who's watching, but the thing about it would be, Estupi was the first one who really said, like, Twitch is one thing, but let's get all of the community streamers on one website. So the Watch Left 4 Dead tournament, right, was absolutely incredible back in the day. And then also another Swiss tournament too, which was Fig Newton's tournament. I want to give a huge shout out to him, kind of like as we're here. But as I've been talking to Estupi and also Lights recently, the thing that we've really kind of looked at is, like, okay, where would any of us be if not for this kind of game and like the relationships that it can actually make? It's something where RBT with Jacob and I came from that kind of energy, and it's an ultra positive one, that I think if more people really committed to in North America, they would be able to, really, really reap the benefits of. It's obviously a very different scene nowadays, but I really want to see, as if anyone's going to be surprised that I say this, I really want to see some North American representation in this cup.
What do you think, Noah?
No surprise to hear you say that. We'll see if it comes to fruition. Hopefully. I know we got, unfortunately, X's and O's will not be competing, but I know that Miles is going over to a NA team, I do believe. We'll see.
Nice. So that's going to be some Left to Learn players still coming over there.
I
love to see them keep trying. We'll see if we'll get any more members. And to the Left to Learn community, we will be getting some games back up shortly now that the tournaments are coming to an end. But all right, we do a little history here, so let's jump right into the next set here of the rules going forward. Of course, buys. If there's an even number of teams, of course, one team will not have a match for that week. It just happens from time to time. Nothing you can really do about it, but we'll do our best to not let that happen. But now, it's rare that we have to talk about this, and I want to talk about this one, Nainal, before I send it back over to you, because this actually happened in a tournament, so we have to discuss this, is tiebreakers. If a game ends on the finale in a tie, the game will restart on Chapter 1, and then it will be treated as a sudden death chapter. It will be treated as the games are 0-0, and you play that one chapter. Whatever team has a higher score at the end of that chapter will be determined the winner. This has happened before, and the players quit the game and thought they could start all over again, and it caused a delay in the tournament. This will not be the case. If this does happen, you will stay and finish until there is a winner, even in Swiss stage, as well as the playoffs if it does happen. So it's a rare situation, but that is a situation that can happen. And I do have to take this part here, Null, because we are using the traditional scoring system, except for the tiebreakers. So I just let everybody know when it comes down to tiebreakers for the last spots of the playoffs and the seedings, it'll be head-to-head record if it's needed. Then the victory over enemy total wins, with losses over enemy total wins if that is a tie. And then, of course, in the scenario that all that comes out to a tie, we will let them play a one-game tiebreaker. I don't like doing the whole coin flip situation. I think this is the stupidest thing. If that actually happens, which I highly doubt it will, we'll go that route, but I wanted to let everybody know that. And if you want details of how this method works, there will be an example of it in the RBT Discord. So, all right. No, sorry about that. I just wanted to point that part out.
If I could just talk about the tiebreakers, I want to cast long enough that there's a tiebreaker and then it goes, and then there's another tiebreaker after all four chapters.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna be like 65 years old still casting Left 4 Dead 2 because like Left 4 Dead 3 flopped or like never happened, and then finally I'll cast the double tiebreaker and I'll be like, all right, I can retire at this point. But yeah, that's what's keeping me going. But regardless, we'll go into 2.2.4 no shows.
I mean, just to chime in
yeah,
on your thing before I hop out. Honestly,
Yes.
like the ultimate tiebreaker, and everybody in chat should also know this, right? It's like if you really, really, really have to break a tie, it's like you go 5 maps deep or something like that, right? And then you have, you know, I don't know, maybe even like another chapter that you play. You can always just have the 2 captains 1v1.
I like that.
Throw a little wrench in there.
Yeah. No, this has been awesome to be able to join. Also, to be able to see the rule set that we have here is extremely robust, and honestly, that's one of the things that I think contributed the most. But gentlemen, I really, really appreciate the chance to talk about this kind of stuff with you, and the fact that kickoff is actually happening today and the Discord is open. I mean, we're in for a whole, like, I don't know, the level that this is going to get to is going to be something that we have not seen in a very, very, very long time. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, thank you for creating it, my friend. We're just happy to take it to the next level. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Before we move on, if I could mention, I do see the stream sniping comments. Me and Gunnoodle already have a delay, and yeah, I think delay is a really good idea, so you are heard on that. But moving on to no-shows, we essentially have basically an important note where if your team forfeits, then they need to say in the assigned match chat that you still want to play in the tournament. If your team doesn't have 4 players show up and you don't say anything, you're being removed from RBT8. So, you know, as it says in the rules, forfeits distort the results by unbalancing the tiebreakers. You're ruining the experience for other teams. It does happen where you're not able to field 4 players. It does happen. But you're going to have to actively say that you want to still be in the tournament. Otherwise, you will be removed.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. That's exactly the way we want to go with it. Make it easier for everybody. So, and also for no show, same thing. Wait a minute. It'll be a different. We'll talk about that later. I'm sorry. I got caught out of line there. So deadlines. Because the scores of the previous round, we can't do any pairings, so we can't have any extensions. Everybody's going to have till Monday night. I believe we have at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a message from Rails real quick. So, lost my train of thought here for a minute. Okay, I see. For the deadlines, we can't have any extensions. 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to do a live show in the pairing, so we're going to spend the day Tuesday on setting everything up. So that means if your game is not played, that means the administrative team will have to make a decision on the game, whether you like it or not, and there will be no discussion about it. So play the game, talk as much as possible, tell the other players on the other team what your schedule is. The more you talk, the better, but try to get that time out there. And we want the games played by scheduled by, I would say, Saturday. You want them scheduled played by the end of the day, Monday. We'll have the date set each week for the weekly announcement.
Yeah. Moving on to the map ban process. This is a pretty big change that I'm extremely excited for. Swiss Rounds is going to use a 3-campaign map pool, which means each week is going to have 3 maps. Each team bans 1 map. Once each team has banned 1 map, the map that is left is the map that y'all will play. Important to note that the better seed will be banning second. So if your team is ranked better than the other team, then the other team is going to be banning first. Another important note is that the staff does request that you do it 15 minutes before the game time. During Swiss, this won't be a requirement. It is just a request that you do it. So if you don't want to do it, but then the other team does, you kind of just have to wait it out because it is requested from the staff to wait until 15 minutes before game time. As for playoff rounds, we're going to be using mapban.gg as normal, and you are definitely going to have to wait until 15 minutes before the game time for playoffs. It's no longer a request for that.
Yeah, and we won't even they won't even be made until the match starts. The caster, like when it becomes playoff time, every game will be casted, and no teams will have to worry about double scheduling over another team's time. We have more than enough casters to cover the games, so don't worry about that. Cast the times whatever's best for your team. If another team, like I see some tournaments that don't want two semi-final matches to be played within an hour and a half of each other, don't worry about that here. You schedule whatever's best for you. We'll send our other casters to cover the game. We'll get it covered when it comes playoff time, so don't worry about that. We want that to be clear. A lot of other tournament directors try to make that forced. We are not going to do that. We will work around you. So that is one important thing I wanted to send out there real quick.
One extra note about the map ban during Swiss is it's going to be happening in your weekly match chats. So don't be making a mapban.gg for your 3 campaign map pool. That'll be happening in the match chat.
Yep, right here in the weekly match chat. So we will be making emotes for all the maps that would be picked, and we will put them in the Discord so you guys can pick accordingly to what we give you. So we'll take care of that part for them when the match chats are set up. So that is there. So finales, we already went over this. Finales are played.
Yes.
Just like you said, no pre-match agreements are valid. Losing team can say GG. This does go for best of 2s. So whoever is the higher seed will always pick the orders the map are played in. So if you want if you vote for a 4-chapter campaign and a 5-chapter campaign, then put the 4-chapter campaign first in my suggestion, so that you can make a proper evaluation on the 5th one. Otherwise, you have no choice but to play the 5th one on a 5-chapter campaign on the first round. So keep that in mind. There is no option about that. So with that in there, the registration process, you may register to participate in the team on the registering following the instructions pinned in the message. So you can go there for that there, and then
Speaking of, do we already have a team registered here? Do we have any?
There's no way.
No, not quite.
No, I was gonna say there's no way.
I'm serious. Okay.
Yeah, because that'd be wild if it already was. So.
LS Vigo, yes, we will get into rules about sprays. That will be towards the end. But moving on to 3.2 deadline. The deadline for registrations is Sunday, May 31st, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that's going to be different times for different places around the world. Ideally, you should just get your registration in before that, way before that, maybe a couple days before that. And but past that time, no extensions will be given.
Nope, not at all. No, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. We got double registration. A player may register for only one team in the tournament, so no signing up for 2 teams. If you do, then we'll have to get that figured out, but basically don't do it.
And then a ban to players, of course. Players with permanent bans as of right now in L4D Center and Cedar Pub will not be allowed to play in the tournaments. And as in parentheses, we have unless they have passed on the VIO, which we are going to go over that a little bit later. We will show that to the community. That will be introduced as well. And then the ineligible for participation in the tournament and their ban account or any other alternative account as well. The only
and we'll get there.
And we will get back to this a little bit later in the later section when we go over some of the facts about it. But for now, we'll just keep them going down the list. So
yeah,
if the match is played with an ineligible player, the game will be ruled as a loss, or a forfeit loss is the way it's going to come in. So
at minimum.
At minimum. It depends on the situation. If the other team members were technically aware, or if they were not. So it's all going to come down, like I said, the rule up top right at the beginning gives the admins discretion to make a call. That can come right into play right here, so just keep that in mind for making sure you are not a banned player or an ineligible one. And a good way to prove that an ineligible one would be where a team would be in trouble is if someone had got in with using an alt account and the whole team knows exactly who it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can't be anything like that. Now, roster update. During the tournament, teams will be permitted to update the roster one time, and this will be before the final round of Swiss Stage. When the final round of the Swiss Stage begins, you may change your roster. You may not change it beforehand. So don't send me any DMs, don't send me any tickets that you have a player that no longer is on your team, he's not active anymore, I need to change him out or I can't play, then tough shit. That's just how it is. Pick the people who are going to play. Don't put people on your team who are not going to play. And also, don't put people on your team if you haven't talked to them about playing on your team. We don't want to see double registrations because people are just throwing people on a team and you haven't even asked them yet. I think in the North American reboot, I did the registrations and Dustburn was on 4 teams. I couldn't believe it. Dustburn, he was on 4 different rosters, and 3 of them never even talked to him. And he eventually played up on L'Obscurité, because that's who he originally plays with. So, just an example of please don't do that. Make it a lot easier for all of us. And then here's some links for the center and Cedar Pug bans. If any list of bans change, we will add it in this section right here of the rules.
3.4.1 is extremely important. Registration is not an exception. That means it is your own responsibility to verify your own eligibility and that of your team. We're not going to go forward and tell you, hey, heads up, we saw that this player's on your roster and they are banned. Like, they shouldn't be. No. They will be dealt with eventually, but it is your own duty to do that. And you don't want to end up with an ineligible player on your roster after sign-up sent.
Standard roster size. You said this before we got to, which is perfect. RBT has always been 6-person rosters. It has never been 7 or above. And the reason why we are not going to 7 is we are not going to allow any teams to make a super team, to make 2 teams combine into 1. That's not happening in the really big tournament. So we're limiting it to 6. That is it. Pick 6 people you know you're going to play with, or don't put them on your roster at all. So that's just the way that it's going to have to be. So no, the limit is 6, in other words. So we had a question here. Got to remove ineligible players. No one is playing. Oh no, believe me, there's plenty of play.
I have like 3
it's
teams
funny.
left.
Yeah, it's funny. There is no requirement that any participant meets the threshold of the number of hours that are logged in. There was a lot of talk about this, whether people had to play so many hours to be valid to play. The administrative team will review the people that sign up. And I'll tell you right now, if people sign up with an account that only has like 2 or 3 games and Left 4 Dead is one of them, you're not going to sign up with that account. We're not going to allow it. It's clear. It's a clear alt account. So lose your main account. Plus, we have access to other servers to check where all your alternate accounts. So we'll know. So just don't do it. So remember, you also have to, I'll put this down here later, that you have to have your profiles open. They can't be private, so the administrative team can see who you are and everything that you own, your games and all that stuff. It must be valid, must be public information. And if it is not made public by the time of the deadline's end, that person will be removed off the roster.
Yeah. And another thing, of course, is for Division 2. The Division 2 teams have to be approved by the admin team, and essentially it's mostly going to be determined by the top 4 players' total MMR average. Not clear on Cedar Pug versus Left 4 Dead 2 Center. I assume it's mostly Left 4 Dead 2 Center. Basically, don't show up with a team full of 10k MMR players on your center and expect to play in Division 2, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. The Division 2 here is, like I said, for new or mid players. If you're on that threshold, you deserve to be in Division 1, because you need to have your skills pushed so you can start getting better. Beating up on people that are definitely lower than your skill level isn't going to solve anything. So play the better teams and you will get better. If you come to this pass or at this fork in the road, then it's time to go on with the better teams now. You've passed that threshold, and the only way to get better is to play the better. And even myself, when I play with my team, well, for the brief moment we played for 2 months, who did we play every day? No, we played Frag 4 every day and got our butts kicked to where at the end we were only losing by 1,000 compared to 4,000.
Now, before we move on to servers, there is a really important question in the chat that I want to mention. Wootlink asked, how does it work for temp bans? Like if the person lost power and the game ended. So I think it's important to clarify that these are not going to be, when we talk about CEDAPUG bans or Left 4 Dead 2 Center bans, we're not talking about like you left a game before it finished type of ban.
Yes, correct. That is correct. Temporary bans aren't recognized because you can lose internet and get a temporary ban. Things can happen like that, so it's not gonna be recognized. And then if the problem arises where the person has got a temp ban on center and we have the right people active, we can get that temporarily removed with a simple request. So that is a possibility that we can discuss later. We'll see how viable that could be to make be easier, but there's always the option for the other servers in case. But there will not be a person holding a server hostage because of a temp ban, and we can't get that temp ban removed on a center server, that one of the other ones will be used in its place, no matter where its location is, because there is an LA one. So they will have to use that temporary for there. You can't say, oh, we're playing here because it's in the rules. No, temporary bans aren't recognized in the permanent ban section, so you will go to Catalyst. I think Cronus is probably going to be back up by then, and then we'll also have I forgot to put up Zone and Fluid here, so we'll have another set of servers that will be in America as well. I forgot to add that, so I'll add that a little bit later.
Yeah, as you can see in section 4, we've got plenty of server locations for you. We're even allowing Miriam for our EU Russian players. We've got, LA and Singapore from Catalyst, shout out JDOT, and so on and so forth.
And one more thing real quick is Alfred Gamer says private for playoffs. We are going to do our best effort when it comes playoff times, where we see two teams that are going to be pairing up each other and they know they're going to be playing each other and we know that they're close to regions. We will get a server that week for them to give them the best ping possible. So we cannot guarantee that it will always be there, but we can guarantee we will do our best, where if we have like South America versus South America, and we have a green ping game instead of them coming to a yellow ping server. So that is a plan for this tournament, and we will do our best to live up to that. But it's never guaranteed, depending on what happens at that time of people's lives. But that is our goal and our plan for the playoffs of RBTA. And all this actually right here, come to think of it, is a lot of stuff that would be if we allowed people to have their own servers as well. So a lot of this really doesn't come into play. And the server with 2 casters, I forgot to change this, it should be 3 casters, which is my mistake, and 3 cameramen allowed each. But remember, for everybody's knowledge, that if there is more than 2 casters, let's say if there's 1 cameraman, 2 casters, and the same for each language, if you are the caster, this goes out to the casters, do not use !cast. If you're a co-caster and if we go over the limit, they will be told not to do so. We'll have this in private chat. I'm just saying out loud if they're here now, but we'll discuss this into staff to give the players a better ping rate.
Yeah, and it's not that big of a deal. You do have to hold hold tab to see the scoreboard, but you also get to see the anti-bait timer as well, which is kind of cool. So you get something that the casters don't, so it's a cool trade-off. I do want to note, mainland Chinese servers, we're going to be having a lot of mainland Chinese teams signing up for RBT8, just as they did for RBT7. Just note that you are not going to be forced to play on a mainland Chinese server. And also, if 2 mainland Chinese teams play against each other, in Swiss, for example, they are going to be directed to use the Catalyst Singapore server or a different server, maybe Miriam, whatever they'd like, just so that the casters can actually get into the server and cast their match.
Yeah, thank you. I almost completely forgot about that. That is very important. But the Singapore, I know Singapore servers, I believe, is pretty good for them, but for the Asia teams or in China, should still have relatively green ping no matter where they're at. Maybe they get a little further away, maybe yellow, but
Yeah.
please do so, so we can get all the games covered as possible. With the possibility of sponsors, we definitely want every game to be covered so we can do as we agree. So
Yeah.
thank you for that, guys. And gamesmanship is not tolerated. Basically, how could I word this of ways people that can manipulate their pings? Don't do this. Please try to make the best server connection for both teams. We have them set up here that are already set for the server, but don't try to go further away to make it difficult for the other team. Pick one that's in the middle for everybody. I know some South American teams don't like the Catalyst servers. Those are going to be required to use when you play the Asia teams. It's not an option. All right. If you're having some issues, then get a VPN, because we checked the server. I played on the server. The European teams and the Russian teams played on the server. The Aussies played on the Australian teams played on the server. None of them have any issues whatsoever. It might be a routing issue from where you're coming from, so there's no problem getting a VPN, in my opinion, especially because all the Asia teams have no choice but to use them when they play in these cups, so keep that in mind. You might have to use it. And plus, it'll even make one of our sponsors happy because it'll go with what we need. You know what I mean to say it, so it'll be helpful.
Yeah, I'd recommend checking out rerouting services as well. Exit lag, no ping. No Ping is literally a Brazilian company. It's made specifically for this type of routing issue. It should be perfect for source games, older source games. So give it a try. I think you are allowed to use, you get a free 1 day with No Ping. So if you're having issues with those servers, give it a try. That being said, LA servers provided by JDOT have been used as the basically gold standard of South America versus China matchups for years now. So this isn't something new. Catalyst isn't like an actual newcomer to the server. It's to the scene. It's the same guy hosting the same server. So it is really, there's no reason to think that this is some kind of newcomer to server hosting.
Yeah, and I see people asking about home and away. That is an outdated config. Just watching people get beat to crap on high ping with people that are playing with direct connect is just not. No, it's not good for the game. And not only that literally you're going to be watching just people get beat up. How well can somebody get beat up on ping? And I don't think it makes for good Left 4 Dead. So we went away from that. But fake lag is not forced with the vote, and if you are using the clumsy by doing it by hand. So you can do this by hand if you choose, but if you're not, then you must use the fake lag vote, the balance, the pings. This is no longer an option wherever you're at. Sometimes it'll be lower balances, sometimes it'll be higher balances, depending where you go. But I do advise the teams to try to get to a place that's dead in the middle, which causes the least amount of fake ping, because the more fake ping you lose, the more uncomfortable it gets. The less you lose, the more realistic it feels, and that's what we want.
That goes with regular ping as well, because fake lag and fake ping have really had a lot of modernizations in the past year or two, and it really has been brought up to speed. So it's just a general rule of thumb. So you're gonna have three options: the fake lag vote command, setting the fake lag manually, or using clumsy. We allow all three, so there's no excuse. As for match schedule, we got 5.1 rounds and scheduling. Pairings and brackets for each round will be posted weekly on Tuesday. So remember, get your match in by Monday night, because it will be on Tuesday you'll get paired, along with the list of maps. For each match, a Discord channel will be made for scheduling. You must use that channel to schedule the match. If you DM one of the players on Steam or on Discord and you have a conversation with them and something goes wrong, that will not be accepted by the admin team as evidence of anything. The only evidence that we will accept at any point is conversations happening inside of your assigned Discord channel. So even if it's someone you trust, even if it's a team that you know that they're trustworthy, shit can happen. Things can happen all the time. So it's best to just use the channel.
And for those that are here live for this as well, all deleted messages are saved on the Dinobot.
Yep.
So if you're communicating with someone and you said they deleted something, we will know about it. If you so don't do it. Please just try to stay inside here. Keep it fair and even with each other, and get those dates scheduled really quickly. So, all right, and the scheduling deadline, we will have it set on. Check the weekly announcements for that. And as we said before, scheduling your matches promptly. Begin negotiating the schedule early. Delinquent scheduling would result in forfeits. So remember, we did go over that earlier before. Scheduling duties is for everybody that is on the roster. When you sign up, there is an option to put up the Discord of your other members. If you want other members to be able to do that, that's why you put them there. It is your discretion on the captain. If there is nobody put up on any Discord links, then the person who signs up will be considered the captain and have all the responsibilities for scheduling for that team. So a little bit more options this time for match scheduling, but the captain ultimately puts the other Discord names of those people that he will allow for scheduling as well. So that being said, do that. And real quick before I pass it over, back to Nal is the reporting the results. Of course, record the results in the result chat, taking a screenshot at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on every Monday. Failure to do so, of course, result double forfeit. No circumstances. We're not going to come chasing you for the answer. It just means that you guys both agreed on taking an L if you don't see any results, which we don't mind if that's really what you want. But it's gonna be hard. Yeah, right. It's gonna be hard getting a shot at that $11,000 by not doing what the rules say. So please do that. Make it easier for everybody.
Moving on to 5.5, how to schedule a match. So match schedule consists of two elements, the date and the time, using either hammertime.cu, or of course you can use sesh.fyi/timestamp as well. This is really extremely helpful to both sides as well as the admin team. So just use it. We're going to have a tutorial up for how to use Clumsy. I guess I could go ahead and do one for Hammer Time as well. It's really not a big deal. Once you get the hang of it, it just takes a few extra seconds of your time to clarify everything for everyone. If you have the hammertime.cu link there, then really no one can dispute anything that you've said. You know what I mean? If you show up at one time, the other team shows up at another time, and you showed up at the time that you listed on your hammertime.cu, it's that simple. If you choose to write the time and you don't include a time zone and then there's confusion, well, it's a lot harder to really confirm one side or the other. So it's really important that you take the extra 5 seconds to use the website. Another thing that you need to include in your match schedule is the number of games that will be played, whether it's a Swiss best of 1 or the total of 2 or the best of 3 listed as well.
And of course, a request for oversight with the administrative team we have together of Streamcasters. There will be a rare scenario where maybe there won't be an administrative team able to make the game. You can always request it, but I can almost say if you're in Division 1, we can almost guarantee that all the games will be covered in Division 1. Division 2 may be a bit different with the output we have, but we do have 9 streamers with Kryja and I believe Anil also might be guest streaming once in a while.
Awesome.
Of course, they're very busy. Vanil, of course, works 2 jobs, and Kryja would do his games probably during EU time, so there will be guest appearances from some of them. They are one of the reasons that put me in the situation I'm at as well, so it'll be nice to see some of them come back and see them once in a while come back, but they're not going to be back full time. They just want to come back and have some fun in the really big tournament, as a lot of them had input on the past RBTs as far as staff or designs that they had made for it, which means shout out to Vanil and of course Kryja as well.
And this is another example of using the ticket system. This is a great way. If you need the oversight, using the ticket system, getting our attention ahead of time, we will almost certainly be able to dispatch someone to be able to cover the match. But you have to let us know, otherwise there's no way for us to know. Moving on to section 6, match play. We're going to be going into anti-cheat / recording. I know people have been really excited for this section, really curious what it's going to look like. Essentially, during Swiss, you are going to have 3 options, but keep in mind demos are still required. But in addition to demos, you'll have to do one of the following 3 things during Swiss. You'll have to either download the Spy anti-cheat, or you'll have to record or stream your desktop with game audio, or you'll have to record or stream with a webcam, including your smartphone, that could be a webcam, on all monitors with game audio from behind you, so that we can see, your head as well as the monitor, and be able to see what's going on it.
Yeah, and one thing to note before we start reading further down is in many other video game internet tournaments, many of them, I could go from Guitar Hero, I can go from Tetris, I can go from Super Mario Brothers. All of these people that play in these online tournaments are required to have webcams on their monitors. It is a basic practice on internet tournaments. This is going to be the normal for Left 4 Dead going forward. So expect this from all tournament directors to tell you this is the future of Left 4 Dead. You do not do this, you will not be allowed to play. This is our way of negating all cheating going future in Left 4 Dead 2. This is your option. If you want to play in it, you have to do one of these. It is no longer going to be an option anymore, but go ahead.
Right. Of course, I know that some players will be concerned because a lot of the areas represented that are playing this game competitively aren't necessarily from the highest income regions, but I can guarantee you, even budget phones that you're going to get somewhere like Peru is still going to have a camera quality of at least like 480, 720p, ideally it looks like we're requiring 720p, which makes sense. I mean, even budget phones in the year 2026 are going to be able to handle that, no problem.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. And if you don't, and if you can't, then don't. Well, we'll get to that in a little minute here. But as you can see, failing to do so will result in a loss in the match. So one person forgets, says, "Oh my God, I forgot to do it. It slipped my mind. My bad. Loss. Oh my gosh, I didn't hit the play button before I start. Loss. Oh, I forgot to record my demo. Loss. I didn't have the audio. Loss. There is no excuse. Okay, it's not happening. All right, all the tournament admins are on the same level with this. It is no longer an option. And if you fail to do so, that player that has failed to do so will be suspended for the next game and cannot play. It happens a second time, the team will be banned from the tournament forever for the rest of the tournament. So there will be no cheating. So, and you might ask, what does anti-cheat do? We have a few examples of what it'll do here. You launch the game, join the server. It'll make sure no sounds are altered, no legal add-ons, or no cheat software is being used in the background. So the easiest way to round all this is just download the cheat software. You don't have to worry about any of this. It makes it the easiest way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you'd say, okay, I downloaded, join the game, we give you some information, you're ready to go. It's the easiest way to do it is just download the anti-cheat. It saves everybody so much trouble. So, and we have our own administrative team that will be paying attention to that, and the logs are saved automatically, so we will have this information. So please, now that you know this, everybody put the cheats off, try to play this as legit as possible, remember to record. We're trying to make something great for the future. We will catch you if you do so. It's almost impossible to get around what we're doing here. And please try not to find a way around it. But with that being said, a lot of people are asking about playoffs. And the one thing we're going to stay now is, of course, we are considering forcing it for playoffs. It's in consideration. But option 2 is not available for the playoffs. So when playoffs are here, you cannot desktop screen share. You're going to have to webcam or download the anti-cheat. So with that being said, you have plenty of time to either get the stuff you need to do this. But I know you already have your cell phone. So if you have a cell phone, you can already do it. I already know you can. There is no excuse not to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think here now. So there is no more excuse. So, and with that being said, if doing any of these things is something you don't want to do or can't do because your PC can handle it, then don't sign up. Easy. Don't sign up. It's plain and simple. There's no excuse.
Yes. So 2 more things before we move on. I see Saucy says, "You'll never catch me, mwahaha," ban that guy. And then second of all, we've got Masquerade asking, make anti-cheat forced for the playoffs concrete. That is essentially, we are doing the 2 gold standards, right? We're allowing you to either use the anti-cheat or you literally have to have a camera behind you filming your every move. So you're literally going to be spending more time if you use a webcam and you try to cheat, you're literally going to be spending more time trying to look like you're not cheating than, it's not possible. So we do have the 2 gold standards. I feel exceptionally confident with this. I would love for Spy anti-cheat to be forced for the playoffs as well, but that is still in consideration, so we'll keep y'all updated.
Yeah, I see the talk about best of 3s. There's only 2 best of 3s, guys. Only 2. And that is the winner bracket finals, because there is a 2-week break from the winner bracket to the next, and then the grand finals will be best of 3. That is it. Everything else is total of 2. So there will be no best of 3s other than those 2 games, because the time warrants it. It'll be convenient. So with that being said, that's just what we want to do going there. So now, second chance players. Of course, there's been a couple of people that have been unbanned recently, and of course, if we know who these people are, and you know who they are, I mean, you know who you are. And with that being said, if you're one of those people, you will not have option 2 as a selection. Desktop screen share. You will have to do both of 1 and 3. There is no options.
Yes.
So 1 and 3 will be mandatory. So if you were caught cheating and you were unbanned, you must download the anti-cheat, and you must have a webcam on your monitors. This is not an option. Don't sign up if you can't do it, because you will be held against it, and you will hurt your team if you don't do it. So don't hurt your team. Don't sign up. It's real simple. So. And with that being said, I think if you've been allowed to play again and you were banned, you should be grateful and be volunteering to do this to show that I've been given the chance and I have no problem with anything that you give me, and I'm going to be an example of what you're allowing me to do. So that's your best way of doing it. You fight and argue with us about it, then just don't play. We're not going to listen to it. This is going to be in one ear out the other. The rules are the rules. If the community is donating this money, we're going to make the best for it. So with that being said, is there anything else, Nal, that you want to cover here on the cheating before we go down to the next one? I apologize.
Sure. I'll say for second chance players, I just want to bring home, even past just the whole you should do it because it's the right thing. We've had a lot of repeat cheaters, which is honestly absurd. It's ridiculous. It's repugnant. And there's a very obvious reasons why these protocols are in place. So yes, we believe in rehabilitation, but we are going to hold you to a much higher standard than everyone else because you've already shown a desire to cheat.
Exactly. Well said, my friend. All right, so with that being said, we'll go to the next part, which is spectators. No spectators except the administrative team. We'll have control of this, so if not, we'll request the team players to do so and take care of whatever issues in the server, so that'll be taken care of. Now, tardiness. Now, this is something that's very important we want to tell people. We want to try to make sure these games are played at all times. With that being said, you have 15 minutes to show up from the scheduled time. Let's say if a time is scheduled at 11 o'clock, we'll just say that's when the time of the match is scheduled for. Once all 4 of the one team is entered and that time frame is passed, which means if it's 11:05 and 3 of your team members in, that time has not started yet. Once you have your 4th team member in, the 15-minute timer from forfeit win starts with the full roster in there. Now, if you are in the game and there is no administrative team in there, if there is no caster possible, when your whole team is in there, you need to screenshot the timer in the game, and then wait 15 minutes and screenshot it again with all of your members in the server. You cannot claim a win if there's somebody missing. And if you fail to do your own team in there the amount of time, then it would be a double forfeit if neither team shows up. So if you guys disagree to reschedule. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to hold you to the time. It's when you have to be there. Everybody knows it. And it's very easy to say this. I can put in the rules since it's a tournament we're hosting. Don't play a CETA or a center game 60 minutes before your match. Don't do this. There is no excuses and no exceptions. If we're waiting for a person in a CETA or a center game, tell them that they will be the reason why you lose. Simple.
Okay, moving on to substitute players. So a substitute player, also known as a ringer, is a player who participates in a match for a team they're not a member of. So obviously teams are going to be held to a higher standard as far as bringing a ringer on. If you don't have 4 players on and ready to play your match, it does happen, but it also, isn't something that should be happening much at all. So there are a number of hoops that you have to jump through in order to have a ringer to play in your match. Number 1, both teams have to agree to allow a substitute player. The ringer must be signed up on the ringer registration, which I do believe is something new for RBT8, so that's important to talk about some more. But a ringer may not be on another roster, so if a player is playing on a team, they cannot be a substitute for your team. And finally, the ringer obviously can't be banned on center or seated pug unless their VIO has passed, just the same as any other player on any roster.
Yes, and with this being said, this is why I'm putting this out there. I'm going to explain this. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, thank you, Gun Noodle. It's pinned. When people that are going to sign up for looking for a team, I advise these people, if you are not able to find a team, that you can sign up on the ringer registration, because there's going to be people who need ringers at a short notice, and if they don't know anybody that's signed up, they're going to need to come here for somebody. So this will be your chance to display yourself if the team gets that desperate that they need somebody because they didn't plan properly. So this opens up something else. All right. So we don't want any ringers being brought in on the spot of, oh, let's just ask this person to play. Nope. Yeah. You got to sign up on the ringer registration. So with that being said, if you know you're not going to play on a team and you want to play, then sign up as a ringer. Maybe somebody will know your name and want to pick you to play as a ringer that week. This is what it's going to be going forward for the really big tournament. It's that simple. You're not going to pull the ringer out that we don't know who it is ahead of time, that we have to check 1 minute before the match or 5 minutes after match time to try to rush and check who it is. That's not going to happen. So ringers will be registered on the list, and you can pick from it, not someone who you personally want that did not sign up here in the allotted time.
Now, we do have a question from Saucy, and Masquerade answered it, but also I think that is a good question still. So let's say we have the ringer registration. Of course, the player has to be on the ringer registration. But for step 1, both teams must agree to allow substitute player. Does the team have to say the exact player, or is it just you agree to a ringer and then you pick the one that you plan to have off of the ringer registration?
No, just agree to the substitute player. It doesn't matter who it is. If you just agree to the substitute player, that means they are allowed to go to that registration list and pick whoever may appear. Then I'll change the writing of this to be a little bit more clear. But no, it's just, may we use a substitute player? Yes. Then you go get someone from the registration, and then it's allowed. They can't be like, well, who are you going to use? It's either yes or no. It's that simple. And we'll put that in the text and the rules. That's why we're waiting a couple days to put the final version on this. In fact, let me make a note to this one. Ringer. Because that's a really good point. Good question, by the way, Saucy. Thank you. That's a really good one. But yeah, so we want all the ringers. We're going to know all who they are ahead of time. So that being said, and of course, no double. I'm sorry now. Before I go to the next one, is there anything that you wanted to cover here before I go past the substitute?
We have a couple people saying that they can't type in the ringer sign-up channel. We'll handle that. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. I'll get that open right away.
We'll go ahead and finish the rules, and then we will. That is not intended, so we will. We'll fix that.
Yeah, I definitely will, for sure. But also, I do advise that if you are going to sign up for the ringer, it is okay, but you please remember to remove yourself if you get a team. If you're also recruiting, trying to find one too. I have no problem that you sit there just in case, but remember, if you get picked up, please remember, so we don't have to do all this double backtracking, do this all extra work. So thank you. That'd be very grateful. And of course, the final one is the ringer may not be banned on CETA-PUG or center unless their VIO is passed, which again, that'll be a little bit later. We're going to bring that up at the very end because it has its own window, which we're going to discuss. So we will go over that shortly in just a second. And of course, no double agents. Nobody can be registered or substitute for another team. That's, if they're on another team, of course. So
yeah. As for limits on substitutions, you have to have at least 3 rostered players. You cannot send in 2 substitutes. It's not allowed. As for the playoffs phase, it doesn't matter if the other team allows you to or not. Substitutes are straight up not allowed. You should be able to field 4 players every single round of the playoffs phase. And it's actually very important that you do because, for example, if you're in the top, I think we'll get to this in a moment, but if you're in the top 4 and you forfeit your match, you get nothing as far as I remember from the rules. We can get into that in a little bit, but it's pretty damn important that you're in the playoffs. You got to be able to field your players even without substitutes.
I definitely agree. Demos and screenshots. Remember, take your screenshot at the end. We're just going over this again. We did went over this before. You're required to put your screenshot in chat. If we don't see it, we don't know the game happened. We just figured you both lost, so that's what we recorded at. Demos are mandatory. You must have your demos and submit them to a tournament director upon request inside the match chat. So to make it easier, just suggest you finish your game, have those files ready to go, and just copy pasta right in there. Because if you're not able to produce them, that is a FFW and you will lose. The other team gets it. Again, there's no excuses for forgetting. It is your responsibility when you're playing for money in this magnitude. So that's that right there, of course. If you don't remember how to do record, space, and make a name up for whatever you want your demo to be if you haven't done it before, it's pretty easy. I'm pretty sure anybody on your team could walk you through it. That being said, I believe we just did screenshots. That's kind of a double.
I don't think so. This is basically going in specific into the fact that once per team, each team playing the match can pause and request screenshots, and the other team each has to screenshot their desktop, screenshot their game, and send it to the admins. So that is a requirement. You can only do it once per match. So you can't be constantly pausing the match asking for it, but you can do it once. Keep in mind that it is an option.
Sorry, that chat made me probably RBT20. The responsibility is with you, of course. It's really easy to just record a demo and don't forget to do it. Team captains, remember, the casters themselves will definitely put it in chat. We will do our best to remind you as well, but it is your responsibility. And of course, casting all these games are, of course, with the usual participation to casters, since it is a community-run tournament, or nonetheless, there's always casters allowed into the games. You pretty much can't say the game, I want to play without a caster. That is not an option. Yeah, that's pretty much what this says right here, just so you know, going forward on this. And AI exploits. Don't intentionally exploit the AI for moving into an area that causes NPC infection or common infected, or the witch, which you don't have to worry about. The witch is not in there, at least planned for right now. Stop attacking, which basically means get to an area where there's no nav tile, where you can't be attacked for any reason, like if you get boomed, go out of there. There's a few places where this still can happen. If we do notice them, we'll put it in the rules, obviously, but if we don't, please don't use it for that. And of course, don't put the tank in a pathing where he can't advance where he's under AI. And this goes for both sides as well, no. This isn't just the survivors going somewhere the AI tank can't go. Don't have the AI tank go somewhere so you get a quad every other attack. You're not allowed to do that, because you have to tell us if the tank gets stuck within a reasonable amount of time, so you can kick it. And also, another thing, this is important now, I want to say this. If a tank is led AI, unless it is stuck, you are not allowed to kick it. I see teams do this sometimes when they let the survivors run forward and they run their tank back, and as soon as it goes AI, they call a vote to kick it. They are not allowed to do this. Well, I'm going to have to put a little note in here. We'll have to add a consequence for doing so.
Yes.
But you are not permitted to kick your AI tank unless it is stuck.
And as far as AI pathing exploits, I know some people are thinking about Dead Before Dawn, Chapter 3, Inside the Danger Room, but we're very happy to note that has been changed, and the Danger Room is no longer an area that the commons don't path into. So that's no longer a relevant part of when we talk about the AI pathing exploits.
All right, now to the spectate command. Now this has been long debated over of the last infected, and this is how we're going to stand on this for now. So basically, if a player gets put out of bounds, which like if a jockey lands on his head and they teleport out of bounds, or he is stuck where somewhere, is not considered a death spot, or they glitch or something, they're just stuck and it will not teleport them out. Just spectate and let them out of there. If it is an area that is considered a death, of course, a lot of people know where this is. Where you get pulled off of a hill and you're holding back and you're just sliding infinitely, and you're saying, I'm stuck. Now, you're not going to be able to spectate on a little ledge and let the bot get out of there. That's not allowed. You know what I mean? It's not used for that. It's used just for if you're stuck. But the more important one we want to talk about here is SI sacking. Player-controlled SI, the final and special infected in the spawn rotation, is permitted to sack out after all of his 3 teammates are killed. So that means if you have a charger, spitter, smoker, boomer, this charger, spitter, smoker obviously need to die first before the boomer's allowed to spectate, or the smoker's allowed to spectate, or if you want the spitter to spectate. 3 of them must die, then the 4th may spec out anytime he sees fit. There is no time at this current moment. There may be an update in the rule coming up in the future for this, but for now, this is going to be the rule for specking out the last one. As we seem, this is the most fair, as no matter how we talk about it, too many situational things come into play, and I feel all this is a little too hard to balance, and this feels best right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough to control, exactly, and this is a good setup. So this is what we'll run with for now. That being said, like we said, most of the rulebook is pretty much set in stone at this point, but the tournament hasn't started yet, so we do reserve the right to make some changes as we see fit, and of course, y'all will be kept up to date with any of those changes via weekly announcements, etc. But moving on to stuck spots. Looks like 7.4 stuck spots do not exploit stuck spots by intentionally becoming stuck in or between entities. Spawn glitches as infected do not clip through a door like the safe room door or other obstructions by spawning while passing through it in ghost mode. There are some more of those examples, but we'll cover those in the coming notes.
Yeah, exactly. And the stuck spots mainly go for getting your person like crouching underneath a stairs and jumping, so they teleport your special infected to the survivors, or is teleporting a tank to somewhere he shouldn't be able to get to because you have a hunter on top of somewhere, so you get the tank stuck intentionally to TP him. No stuff like that. That's why that is in there real quick, just to touch base with that on why it was there. And of course, this is obvious. No attacking from out of bounds. Don't go underneath the map and hit the survivors. I mean, that should be pretty self-explanatory. Don't skip the elevator event on hard rain. I don't think anybody's ever going to do this in a tournament match because you need your health bonus, but don't do that as well. The death toll 1 ladder, you may not cross over the top. When one survivor goes up, it breaks the invisible barrier. Every survivor must go up the ladder. There is no permission to skip that. Gas cans, of course, on the finale. You're not allowed to have the boomer or the tank pop or punch them or pop them out of play. There is no problem with the tank punching them on the ground, but hitting anything out of play is not allowed, and if that does so, there will be a penalty. We need to put a penalty in here. I'll make a note of that as well. It'll probably be sacrifice points of some sort, but going on to the next one, Open Road Chapter 3. This is exactly what you were talking about here, Nine-Naw. The survivors start the event on Chapter 3, then go upstairs, hold out the event. There is no problem with doing so. There is a door that is not breakable there. This is the infected are not permitted to spawn through this door, as it would break Rule 7.5, as we were talking earlier. So keep this in mind. If casters are in game, we'll try to remind you, but it is your responsibility to remember this rule. That is still a door you spawn through as a ghost. It's not permitted.
We've seen this happen in a number of recent open road matches, so make sure you don't do that. You will get penalized for it. Moving on to Section 8, glitches. We've got rescue vehicles. So there is a chance that in the finale rescue vehicle, there is a glitch. This often happens in Swamp Fever, but also happens in Dark Carnival and Hard Rain. If that happens, the half will be replayed following a restart round. If it's necessary, the final scores will be calculated manually. For example, if Team 1 already finishes and then you need to restart your round as a second team, and you have to calculate the scores afterwards. Then we'll do that.
All right, competitive integrity. Participants have a duty to conform to the general acceptance of standard and fair play. Deviation from these standards, cheating, or threaten legitimacy of the competition as a whole. Therefore, everyone will be held to strict standards of competitive integrity. Caught cheating will result in a 5-year ban from center and all tournament eligibility. So don't do it. Kind of the FAFO kind of situation.
Yeah.
Mess around, you will find out. Don't do it. This is the consequence. Xiao is on board with this, and we are also working to get Lucky Lock, so you will have no C-to-pug and no center on all your main or alternate accounts for cheating going forward. That is a very important thing to note, in my opinion. And of course, penalties. The minimum penalty for breach of competitive integrity is a loss of match by forfeit. There is no maximum penalty, which may include team expulsion from the tournament, forfeit of already played matches, and forfeit of team eligibility for any prizes.
Moving on to 9.2 stream sniping. This is something that got brought up a lot earlier on as we were going over the rules, and essentially I think that it would be a great idea for casters and streamers to have a delay of a minimum amount of time to also so that we can help prevent stream sniping happening as well. We'll talk more about that and let y'all know what conclusions we come to. Like I said, myself and Gunnoodle already have a stream delay. I think a lot of people do, so no big deal there. But we do also have some permitted modifications. And there's a long list of things that are permitted. A lot of it is kind of like obvious, like for example, your main menu music, your menu fonts, that's fine. Modifying HUDs, crosshairs, that's fine. Gun models, animations, tank music, and so on.
Yeah, we're not going to go over all of these in complete detail, otherwise we'll be here for another hour, but you can look over these of the of ones that are permitted, and we'll have some examples for some forbidden ones. Of course, things that change textures, skybox props, files that change the rendering availability, sound files, so forth, third-party applications. These things are pretty basic as well, so
yeah,
these are things that you can go over. We're not going to go over in detail. And of course, for some people that are newer, that are going to see this for the first time, because I know there are going to be some new teams that are going to participate, these are some things that you might want to put in your auto exec, or you might want to save these so you can join the game. You will not be able to join the games without these. You'll just be able to join as a spectator. And also remember, I should put this in there too, for newer players, you will have to get the IP address and open up console, type connect in the IP address. You cannot just join simply by viewing friend and connecting. These servers do not have that ability, so that's important for everybody to know going forward. And now, what everybody was asking about right as we come up to the end is, of course, the VIO, the violation. This is a spreadsheet created and controlled by L4D gamers. The people who have been caught cheating in the past and for the future is what this document is made for. Cheating is not allowed, and being caught after 2025 will be automatic ban for 25 years for an L4D center and tournaments from that time frame. Committee of 9 people will vote for all requests on the VIO. All requests in the VIO will be public information for everybody. So that is one thing to note. So with that being said, we're going to pull away from these rules for a minute, and I'm going to bring up the VIO so we can all see this in detail. Here it is. And this is public information in the facts part of the Really Big Tournament. So if everybody would like to read this on their own leisure, this is what it's going to be. I'll zoom in temporarily for now so we can read the documents. As you can see, there's a bunch of lists of bans. I'm not going to go into each one of these in detail, as everybody can view this over their own time. And if you were caught before 2025, this is the time you're looking to serve. 12 months, 24 months. If you did it in cup play, ×2. And if it was your second time offender, you're going to have more time on top of it. This is what happens if you're caught cheating. Of course, you're not guaranteed to be automatically unbanned when your time frame comes off, because there's a few things you're going to have to do in order for this time to happen. When a player is unbanned, there's a few things that he needs to happen to first, and this is what we'll take for a player to be unbanned. Time frame must pass on the violation. Violation committee votes allowing the player to return to time served. Player must now play webcam on all monitors and have game audio on, and also have the tournament anti-cheat. This would be mandatory for these players that are brought back. They'll have this opportunity. Failure to do so will put you here in the situation. This is where the public information will be for everybody to come out here. We've already had our first person come out here. Everybody knows Noel or Locke. He has submitted his request, and unfortunately for him, it was denied. It was unanimous. He did get no green votes, and his request will stay here forever. His request of what he did, and this will remain here for everybody who wants to be unbanned. Your information will stay here forever, and this will be shared with all tournament directors, and they can make the decision to accept this VIO or to make the decision to not. Clicking on right here will give you the unban request. If you think someone is cheating, here is the ban request as well. So these are options that will become on, and there's one more thing to notice. Unban requests are only noticed 2 times a year, through the months of May and through the months of December. So these are the only 2 times this VIO will be recognized. Other than that, it is dead during the months in between. So this is the VIO to the public, and this is what it is. So this could be controversial to some, but this is the future of Left 4 Dead 2. And of course, there might be a bunch of questions to go out here. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot away, or we're going to go right back into the rules. So I'll check over here to see what we say.
Shout out to Presto as well. Jeff Probst, absolutely.
Yep, you're correct. Sign up at the pin note smiles is the link for RBT8's Discord, so you can go right into there and fight for the unban. No. Okay, let me make this clear now. Right now, there's a committee of people that vote on this. All right, the people that are on this committee, I can tell you, is me. And that's all that's going to be noted at this current moment. The rest of these people on the committee are not going to be revealed at this moment. I could choose to do so with talking with this committee. But there is no direct messages to this committee. So that ain't going to happen. You're not going to ask these people, help me out, please do this. No. No messages to me thinking I'm going to help you, because it's all a voting system. That means no one person can use their personal feelings to intervene in this. Which means even though I was the creator of this, I cannot decide to unban someone because I made it. We created this and agreed upon in a committee that only these people can vote upon it for anything that is changed in this committee. So there will be no shenanigans, no favoritism, all by what the paper says. So if you have a violation, you know when you got banned and you want to play again, read it. Read it and see if you qualify for it. It doesn't mean you're going to get unbanned. It means you're going to have a chance to submit a request. It doesn't mean you're getting unbanned, so don't think, oh my gosh, I'm going to play again. That is not the case. I don't want anybody to get happy. I don't want anybody to get angry. I'm just letting people know this is what the future is going to be for Left 4 Dead. Left 4 D Center is on board with this. Like I said, it's only twice a year, and I'm pretty confident that I think I touched everything that I wanted to say about this and all. Is there anything you think that I missed that I think I should touch on?
No, I think you did a great job covering it. Not much else to say on it. I will say we've got the Discord pinned right now, so you can join the Discord and get your team signed up right now. I'm still checking to see if anybody's going to sign up their team to be the first one during our cast here. So far, not yet. If you do want to bring up that sheet again about the unban request, I guess people can take another look at what they have to enter in to an unban request in order to get unbanned.
Yeah, this is what oh, I know, I'm on the wrong page here, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll go, and also there is Spanish translation, and there is also Chinese translation. This is for everybody, but I'll be honest, the Chinese community has no forgiveness for cheating, so they're way harder than I am, or we are in this community. But here's what you have to do: unban request. It's the L4D Gamers request form: name, date of offense, ban of offense, why you did this at this time, why you should feel you should be unbanned, and your closing statement. All right. Remember, we only pay attention to this twice a year, so once June 1st comes, this will be not available. The link will be removed from being viewed. It will be unavailable for the public. And we will bring it back in December for the rest of the year. So this is a very short amount of time this could be done. The only thing that'll be open all year round are the ban requests. These are the one tab that will be an option all year round, but unban requests will not be. We're not going to flood them into the community. Like I said, twice a year, and June 1st they will all be revealed what will happen, or you can stay tuned on this page and see as they are done live, because this is public knowledge. If you're going to be on here and you're a cheater, you must say what you've done, prove what you've done, and what you're going to do in the future, and also follow all the rules of what comes of being a cheater as well. Hated saying that way, but it is what it is. You've done it, and you put yourself in this situation. And
Absolutely.
you should feel lucky that you have the opportunity to even have this in 2026, in my opinion. So I don't
Exactly.
I,
Having a route to rehabilitation is something that the community didn't have to do, but I think it's something that is important to have, and hopefully it teaches cheaters a lesson.
Yep, and I know that there could be, like I said, there's going to be controversy on this from both sides. Some people will be happy, some people won't be. But I let you know, with everything that we have discussed in this video with the rules and what's required to do to play, we have done almost everything in our power that even if you were caught cheating and you're unbanned, that it's almost impossible for you to cheat still.
Yeah, like trying to cheat in RBT8 is it's not going to be easy for you. Like I said, you're going to be spending more time trying not to get caught, and you're probably just going to play worse. So the only people that would actually try to do it are, it's going to be very difficult.
You, the people, donated for this, and it is our responsibility to put some kind of blueprint on for the future. The next 4 years of the L4D Gamers is going to be great, and this is us trying to do an impact for the future. So I hope everybody will be happy with this, but hold on, we got another question here. I don't understand correctly. Aside from demos, I do need to record my screen. Demos will be enough. Nope, demos will not be enough. You will need to desktop screen share and have that video available for us to watch by the end of the day Monday.
That is just during Swiss as well, where you'll be able to desktop capture. Once we get to playoffs, you will be required to either use the spy anti-cheat or record your monitor with your webcam or your smartphone, or both.
Yep, it is mandatory. There is no option. This is going to do better things for the community. It's going to negate cheating.
Absolutely.
So this is just the normal. All competitive games do this normally. This is normal.
Yes.
This is just Left 4 Dead's behind. We're just getting caught up in 2026. I've done my research on cheating, and this is what every tournament that I have seen done. No matter how big the prize pool is, they have people record their POVs, and it's available for the public at whenever they want. This is just basic 2026 tournament play, and this is just the basic feature going forward, and the meta for what you have to do on your side of VOD control.
Yeah, and it might sound a little bit janky, but it's actually the best way of doing it, funnily enough. So
yeah, well then, if your PC is going to suffer, then put your phone on your monitor and monitor stream.
Yes.
That it's easy. You don't have to stream with that. Use your phone. Your phone has a really good camera in it. There you go. That's the way around it. That's why you have option 3 as a webcam option, so you don't have to use your computer power. We already have that covered. We've thought about this really into detail, and this is going to be the protection for the players. So there will be no cheating. And there's no way you guys don't have a cell phone. There's no way. If you say you don't have a cell phone, you're lying.
Pull the Blizzard quote and say, "You guys have phones, right?"
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, and of course the other option, if you can't do any of the options we're giving you, is to just be a spectator as well.
So can I stream off OnlyFans? I'll tell you, hey, I don't care where you stream to, as long as the video is available on YouTube or YouTube, Kick, what's the other one? YouTube, Kick, and Bilibili for the Asia community.
Yeah.
Those videos must be public, available for the public by the end of the day Monday. If you don't upload that stuff to Monday, you're going to lose the game. It's a requirement now. There's no option. You have to do it. Like, people are going to learn real fast that we're not messing around.
Yes,
because
they will.
And
yes, they will.
And every tournament's going to do this from now on. All of them.
Yeah.
Copa Peru, all of them. Every tournament you do, this is just normal. This is not going to be like just a one-done deal. This is just the new normal, okay? So not only is it going to require a lot more people to do things, but just think, not only do we get to cast the games, but every single person's POV is available for the public. Just think of how much the community is going to grow for everybody's VOD being there. All right, there's a lot more thing that's going on than just what we're trying to do here. This is a change for the community. People that wanted cheating to end, this is it. We're stopping it. We're putting an end to it. You know what I mean? We're going to do our best. It might be a little rocky getting there, but we're going to get there, and we're going to try our best to make a fair and balanced playing field for everybody. So this is just us doing our best, guys. And yeah, with that being said, I don't think there's really much more to touch base on the VIO, unless there's anything you want to touch base with here, no? I think everybody in the community has everything they need. You know, like I said, some people are going to be upset, some people are going to be happy. It's just a new norm. We just got to get used to it.
Yeah, basically, I just want to reiterate, I remember in RBT 7, this came up over and over again. People not reading the rule book and people not being prepared for the rules to have consequences. RBT 8 is going to be more than ever before. You are going to need to know the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you're going to get penalized for it. And there's really no way around it. So make sure you know what the rules are. Make sure that you're following them, especially when it comes to the anti-cheat measures. We are not going to have leniency when it comes to this. So yeah, really important. Love the Left for Divas shout out to Cheddar Goblin as well in the house. We got lots of people in here as we continue on. We're about towards the end now that we've concluded VIO, but I think we've got just a couple more.
Yes, all right. So well, before yes, I'm gonna post this AK. I'll post it on so you guys can go through it. But before I go on here, does anybody else have any other questions for the VIO before I send it off here? Because I would like to address any live questions that you guys want now. Before, of course, I'll take questions on it privately as well. But I figured if you want to hear me say it, if anybody has anything, now is the time to ask. So I'll give a minute or two before
while
I switch
we're
it
waiting,
over. Yeah, go ahead.
While we're waiting for people, if anybody wants to ask any questions, I would say now is the time to be using the ticket feed. Like, I hate to say this because I know I'm down to help out with the tickets as well, but I just want to mention using the ticket feature on the Really Big Tournament 8 Discord is a really good way to ask your questions. For example, we talked about permissible edits to your game and impermissible edits. If you're like, I'm not really sure if this is permissible or not, you should open a ticket and ask us, especially before the tournament starts. I know, MK, you witnessed firsthand just how many tickets were sent in after the first week of RBT 7. It was a staggering amount, so sending it in after the tournament has already started won't get the fastest response time. But right now, the ticket system is empty right now. So if you have any questions that this video or this stream didn't answer for you, or anything that comes up during the month of May where you want to follow up and ask a question, use the ticket system.
All right, so here's a quick question. Here, I'll answer this one right here. Snicks got banned like 2 times already and squandered second chance. All right, well, he's going to he'll submit what he submits. So let's say he submits what he sits, and we'll just do this for conversation's sake and say he used, I forget what it was called. He used, I believe it was bypassing this. I forget what it was, whatever. We'll say that the violation is the 12 months. So let's say this was his second violation. Let's say this was the case. That means he would have 12 months times 2 would be a 24-month violation. Second time, which another 24 months. So that means 48. So that means from the time that he got caught cheating, he would have to wait 48 months before he'd be allowed to be voted back in again. That's just to get voted. The time frame needs to pass before we even have to talk about it. So we can't talk about unbanning if the time frame hasn't passed. So whatever information is submitted by the cheater, we'll review it and make sure it matches to what he says. And if it doesn't match what he says, that he lies to us, then he's just going to be declined. So it's also on how honest the cheater is going to be and how accurate everything he said did and how the information lines up and we can physically see what he did and it lines up. So the cheater has to be honest, can't lie, because we already know the information. We know where to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and the cheater already knows what's going to happen to him if he's caught. The time frame is already here. So with that being said, those answers are already there. So if you're asking me if Snicks would be allowed to play, if his minimum requirement with what we just said, it would be no. Easy. Or I would have to know the date he was caught to give you that correct answer. Like you have to say, well, let's make up a date. No, let's say the 1st of 2024, which we know isn't the truth. We'll say January 1st, 2024. That means he would be allowed to play at the beginning of 2029 after he serves his ban. For conversation's sake, that would be it if that was his infraction. So with that being said, there it is. That's an example. And all these will be taken into consideration by themselves when they submit the forms. And like I said, the information doesn't lie. These bans are already on the websites. You can't lie. The more that the cheaters provide honest proof, the more better chance they might have a second chance of coming around. But I'm telling you right now that it's highly unlikely that any of this will even happen, unless you're truly we feel you're reformed. That's what it's going to come down to.
The good news is we got L42 in the Big 29. The good news is we've already got plans. We've already got stuff being teased many years in the future. So there will be things happening, but you don't want to miss that many years of Left 4 Dead 2 just because you couldn't put the aimware down.
All right, and I'm going to tell you as well, I'll say this again, I said this to a few private people, L4D gamers up into the year 2023 will have 2 more tournaments that'll be worth more than $10,000. So that will be coming in. I mean, 2026 to 2030, sorry.
Yes.
We will host 2 more tournaments that will be worth more than $10,000. So keep that in mind. There is a future plan for the future. So if anybody wants to come back for these, I suggest that you stay scrimming every once in a while. Take short breaks when you need them. But there will be bigger prize fund than RBT 8. We have plans to take it higher than that before the end. So we're not done yet. We are not done yet. This is just the beginning of, like I said, the L4D Gamer era. We'll have plenty of things. We'll keep it as cinematic as possible to when we reveal you these things, so it's entertaining and you enjoy it. But with that being said, I think we touched every base possible now with this VIO. We gave some examples, and I think we should just jump back to finish off these rules. Because we've been sitting here for already an hour and 41 minutes shooting away on this, and believe me, I'm having a blast talking about this and letting everybody know what we're doing for the future. So, with that being said, we'll now put the VIO behind us. At the very end, before I do a raid, I'll take a couple of more questions. But let's go right to the next. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Each participant is expected to conduct themselves respectfully towards others and above all times. Abusive harassment, disrespectful, otherwise unsportsmanlike conduct would not be tolerated, neither during a tournament match nor any other context. Don't do any racist stuff. You know what I mean? Just keep it friendly.
Yeah.
There's no wrong with friendly banter of friendly crap talk, but just don't take it over the edge. You know what I mean? Don't do that. This 2026, we have a chance of having sponsors for the future of our game. Let's not show them a bad example and jeopardize that. All right. Thanks.
Absolutely. Insufficient effort to win. If you are competing, you need to play to win. If a staff member judges that you haven't committed to winning the match, then you are guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct.
I like that Osasi says counting Charger slams fair.
Yeah, I think a really good example would be the not even close situation that came out. We talked about this before the stream started. I think that's a really good example of something that won't really be, it's not the level of unsportsmanlike conduct that we're talking about. We're talking about extreme stuff. That being said, we will be getting to excessive alt talk in just a moment, which is that in general, you're going to be wanting to keep your messaging to MM2, which is team chat. You're not going to be wanting to talk in all chat. If you want to say something, the stream will still see it if you say it in MM2. You don't have to say it to the other team and be disrespectful to them while they're playing. And of course, another thing is excessive pausing. You can't just keep pausing the match over and over again, so repeated or lengthy use of the pause function, since it disrupts the normal flow of the match and frustrates the expectations of the spectators, casters, and other players, it is considered unsportsmanlike conduct and will be judged by staff if it is deemed appropriate.
Yes, there could be an issue arising here. We could change some literature here for a time frame on this pause issue. We are discussing this to see what's fair, and this will be updated later as well. We haven't come to an agreement what we think is fair, because the way that Steam communicates with their servers, there's a little bit of an issue. So we're going to discuss this, but for now, all the rules sit as it is, and we will update them. And all announcements in the weekly announcement will be, we will let you know if we update anything as well. So with that, go ahead.
We do have a comment from SCL saying, so I can't say things, for example, when I'm streaming. Some things can be said in the voice chat, not being disrespectful towards the other team, just saying certain words. I will say, ideally, you're not going to want to be breaking the Twitch TOS while you're competing in our tournament, even if you are just on your own stream saying it. But as far as personal streaming is concerned, I would assume that we don't really plan on investigating too heavily into that. Okay?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm debating here because our main focus is making sure we have game audio. So I'll debate if we really need to hear the people talking.
That's true as well.
If you're worried about that, I don't know if it's really required that we hear what you're saying. So if you want to keep yourself quiet or don't hear the voice on your recording, I wouldn't see why that would be a problem, unless you're webcam recording, of course. Then you have they have no choice but to record your audio. So yes, those situations I can see is acceptable. Of course, if it arises an issue, we can make an adjustment accordingly. So, and now back to what you were saying, excessive alt talk.
Yes.
Look, almost all these teams right now that are active all know each other to some degree. I won't say that you guys are friends, but you're all acquaintances with each other, and you play against each other as opponents in the game you love. All right? You guys know each other. All right? You may not be best of friends, but treat each other with respect. Don't use any vulgar language. Racism, bullying, or doxing will not be permitted. I will let you know, if anybody gets banned over racism and doxing, and the audio is recorded or the visual is recorded, it gets out of hand. These are bannable offenses that are not unbannable. There is no reason to have somebody who is racist in the community. So keep that in mind as well, because remember at the beginning of this, we can exercise our admin power, or use, I wouldn't say power, our admin use, what we feel at our discretion is a proper way to say that, not power. And this is one of them. Doxing is unacceptable. Telling people to I'm going to tell you what, telling people to kill themselves is unacceptable. It's not right, okay? Or off themselves, I shouldn't even say it for real. Now, it's one thing when you joke about your friends when you're in your own chat, but it's not as appropriate when you're saying it out loud to others. Just don't do this. You know, you don't want actually people doing it and you regret it and you feel bad. I'm just saying, so.
And another thing is, you know, we're aiming for sponsorships as well. We are trying to elevate the tournament scene in Left 4 Dead 2. We're bringing huge prize pools to the tournament. You know, if you want to be a certain way on your own time, you know, go ahead. I'm not gonna, like, you know, police you off duty or whatever. Do whatever you know you are. But when you're in the tournament, just recognize that we are not going to allow things that are past that limit.
Yeah, please don't. Don't just push it. Don't even try. I mean, you understand what we're trying to do, and if you're going to try to combat us and, like, counter what we're trying to do, we'll just get rid of the infection. It is like Left 4 Dead 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just don't be Left 4 Dead outside of the community. You know, it's really easy to get put there. We want this to be great for everybody, not bad, so don't put us in that situation. And you know who you are for the people that talk this way. With your friends, it's fine, but just don't do it publicly or against the team that you're playing, so please. Now, onward to side effects, or sound effects. Basically, this comes to survivor play. Don't spam the talk thing over or laughing. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and go, ha, 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 or ready with the survivors. Don't be annoying.
Yeah.
Remember, it's also being looked at sponsors. We don't want to have trolls. in the game and be like, why are we going to invest our money in here and put our name on it when people are acting this way? So there's more than the big picture than just this. And no, I see no Xbox tournaments. No, sorry, my friend, Xbox. There are tournaments for Xbox, but that is not here. This is PC only. War rooms are open for the teams that want to do so. Mainly the English ones, since this is the English cast for us. The Spanish can choose to do whatever they want. We do have war rooms open for the English-speaking team, so if you want to do that, when you sign up, we'll have I guess we might have that option to sign up too, but war rooms are going to be there again for teams that want to do it, so again, that is an option. So with that being said, let's go to the next one. Sprays and stream avatars. Of course, I love a spray. I love me a good spray. And I'll tell you, I say it all the time. I love sprays. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
Violation of this rule, you're going to get banned from the tournament. If there's any sexuality, nudity, racism whatsoever, the N-word out there, you know what I mean? None of that stuff. No nudity, sexual, suggestive. If it's a borderline sexuality, then don't do it. Don't make us have to make a decision. We're like, oh, it's not covered. You can't see anything. Don't do it. And so, no grotesque, violent, obscene, or depict any disturbing images or offend imagery such as sexual, suggestive, or explicit content, racist logos, or shock images. All right, and one other thing that we didn't put in here that actually, did we pass over it? No sprays. It's not here. No sprays of special infected. No hunters. No hunter sprays. No spitter goo sprays. They must be deactivated. They are not appropriate for tournament play. Also, you know who they are. I guess that part mustn't have got saved. I thought we added that in here.
Oh no, it's at near the top.
Okay.
That point, yeah.
All right, I'll add it down here too.
Yeah.
So no hunter spray. Whoever made the hunter spray, it's awesome. I love it myself. I think it's great. And the spitter goo spray is top notch, bro. When you have your whole team have a spitter spray and you all spam it, it looks amazing. But for this tournament, no, guys, you can't do that. If you forget it one time, I understand. If it's the hunter sprays, you'll be asked to remove it right away. But you do it a second time, it won't be accepted. You know what I mean? It's a minor thing, but don't do it, please. It's great. Don't get me wrong, Lulus. I do like the spray, but no, you can't use it. And then, of course, guilty by association. If you have the person on your team and you know they're doing stuff that's inappropriate or breaking the rules, your team's going to be held accountable for it. And unless there's a really, really fine line, but there's like none whatsoever. So that is pretty much what we're going to go there. And now forfeit losses in playoffs. This is important. Oh, I know you were waiting for this part.
Yes.
And forfeit losses in the playoffs. If you make the top 8 and you give a forfeit win, your cash prize will be forfeited and divided amongst the remaining teams. So if you give a forfeit loss or a forfeit win, a forfeit win because you couldn't be there, your team is kicked out from contention from prize fund. So it's an insta DQ. Don't do that. Play the game.
Go up to your match. If you forfeit one of the most important matches in RBT 8, your prize money will be gone before you can say PTM or MRD or C. Before you can even type C, your prize cash will be gone.
Yep, and you don't want to do that. And this is history right here. You want to be part of it? Play accordingly, my friends. That's all I gotta say. Follow the rules. All right, then of course there's some legal things here. I'm not gonna go over the details, of course. There's licensing and stuff that. There's a lot of little links here for some information that people want to go into. I have the, if I pronounce this right, the Björklons scoring system. It is slightly altered. I have it to scoring win-loss instead of points scored. That's the only difference. And all of this work will be public viewable for how that scoring system is. So don't worry about it. It'll be on the standing sheet so you know where you stand going forward. And it'll be a little bit work on our end, but it'll give the proper information to everybody. So, and with that being said, this is all of the rules that I believe I wanted to touch base here. Is there anything that you think that we missed? No, in my opinion.
Not a whole lot. Just to reiterate, we're going to be going over as a team, talking about caster stream delays, as well as, we would love to be able to bring y'all war rooms with those being done in foreign languages. It would be tough, but, I did see y'all's comments on those, and everything else, we went line by line, and I think we're good to go.
Yeah, and also a quick shout out in the chat. Shout out to Bravo, who has been in the community, played in many of the L4D tournaments over the year. And also, for those that aren't aware of, a little history behind Bravo. Bravo is a 13-time tournament champion in Left 4 Dead history. He is actually ranked number 2 in the United States on points, only behind Dusty, who Dusty has the most number 1 places. Bravo is actually number 2. Believe it or not, in points scored, and if you want to go points all time from the existence, Bravo is number 6. He has 85 total points with 13 first places, 8 second places, and 4 third places between his luxurious career, and of course being on teams like H2K and Stuck in Rotation, probably the most dominant teams that he has played for. Don't get it twisted, he has made a lot of playoff appearances. Look at that number, 85. Just sits out there being in the top 6. Impressive job by you, Bravo, and thanks for what you have done in the community over your years, my friend.
He's so humble. I love it.
All right, bro. Yeah, I gave Bravo a little bit of a hard time with the witches. I'm sorry that I do so, bro, but it's a thing for you in the community, but nobody can doubt what you have accomplished, my friend. The wins don't lie. You have done it, no matter what years. And yes, we have servers, Adam. We'll have special ones for the playoffs, but for now it'll be Center, Miriam, Catalyst. There are some of the servers we have for the ones for Left 4 Dead 2 for now, so that's what we're going to go for. Yeah, I would love to do LAN tournaments, but the only country that does LAN tournaments in Left 4 Dead is region is South America. So South America actually has LAN tournaments. I've heard of this because Shockwaves has played in 4 of them, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, they do have a LAN tournament. So if you want to play in a Left 4 Dead LAN tournament, it's going to have to be in South America. So someone pay my ticket, I'll be there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players from Peru are all in Lima, the capital, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I would love to have a LAN tournament, man. I'll tell you what, if I ever win the Powerball, I'll have it, and I'll pay for all the competitors to fly out. I would have no problem doing that. We'll have our own esport if I ever win a lottery.
We do have Frey asking a question, though. How many teams can make it into the playoffs? I believe you said 40% of the signups.
Yeah, let's go to it real quick.
Yeah,
so basically it depends. From my research of looking through playoffs, most of pro sports do top 40%. So this is going to be varied about how many teams sign up for the team, 8, 16, or 32. I highly doubt we get to 32. I'm kind of hoping we don't. I'd like to stay at 16 because I don't want this tournament to take half a year. You know what I mean? It's going to take quite a time to complete it, but I don't want it to drag, if you know what I mean, like some of them do. But I can tell you that if it does go to 32, the first round will be only single elimination. That's why it says knockoff. So if we go to 32, I'll put it in the rules here. I should have added that. The first round of 32 will just be single elimination, and then we'll jump into double. Otherwise, we're going to be here for like an extra 3 weeks to determine who is going to win this thing, and I don't want that to happen. Nobody wants a tournament to drag. I want 15 to be the absolute max. Of course, 16 if enough teams sign up for the extra round of Swiss. But yeah, that's long enough for a tournament. Like I said, we don't want tournament fatigue to come out. But as far as I know, there is no other really planned tournaments for the summer. So we shouldn't really have too much tournament fatigue, unless, of course, Lalo or Chad host their own tournaments. But from everybody else here, I don't really see much of anything from the rest of the community. So, all right. I believe we touch base with everything that I wanted to touch base with. I will put this version, or no, we're going to put the full version of the rules up on Sunday. We're going to do some grammar correct and stuff like that. So just be patient with us for that for now. And then we'll get that final version up there for everybody. But all right, okay, guys. And with that being said, my friends, I will say this shout out a little different. Shout out to my admin team for Left 4 Dead, for RBT8. Shout out to the tournament directors for running tournaments, server admins for having servers, and everybody at home for watching. Without you guys, it is not possible. And my name is MK with L4D Gamers, and I'm ready for RBT8. See you soon. Later.